The Great Fire of London. September 2, 1666 CE. Humble merchant, had earned a special honor and reputation, and was a baker for King Charles II, who was returned to the throne of England after his exile to France. Fariner was the royal baker for 5 years when he climbed one evening in 1666 CE to get to his bed over his bakery in Pudding Lane. After a long and arduous day he lit his candle and surrendered to sleep on a quiet night, but when he slept a spark was still flapping in the bakery below. He failed to put out the fire of H. The courtyard of a nearby hotel and lit up the skyline of Pudding Lane. That city lay in a very crowded area in central Old London, and thousands of locals who didn't warn enough were quickly outside. They monitored the fire, but the fires were common in that wooded area, which contained the industries of tree dipping, impregnation, turnery, and others. In the year before, King Charles had written to the mayor urging him to take strict measures for fire regulations, but previous fires were extinguished. And not there is no reason to think but the firefighters cut pipes water to fill their containers faster, which cut off water to the area. Hell crawled incessantly from Sunday to Wednesday, at which time 13,000 homes were destroyed, 87 parishes were burned and 300 acres were black. Just as the shops built on the London Bridge had reached the fire, and sparks had crossed to the opposite bank VTH and set a small fire in the southern Wark region. The Union Hall and the Royal Bank, that is the financial center of civilization, are all turned into ashes. The greatest fire was in St. Paul's Church, where the high temperatures made the rocks explode and the ancient graves open as well, to show the remains of the bodies of the dead. And the ceiling of the church had melted and the molten lead from it poured into the adjacent streets. It is worth noting that 8 people died in the Great London Fire, as most of the population had enough time to flee. On Wednesday night, the fire was brought under control, due to the personal intervention of the king, who organized the firefighters and the demolition of buildings to cut off the road to the fire, but London was on fire for weeks after that, as the liquor stores continued to burn for 6 months in a row. The Union Hall and the Royal Bank, that is the financial center of civilization, are all turned into ashes.